Hey there, ladies and gentlemen. It's the author, Andrew Snorton, and you're joining me for the Fast 15. As we normally do on Wednesdays, we take no more than about 15 minutes to pause, check up, check in, enjoy a note from any of my books or audiobooks, bring you, a few announcements regarding ways to connect, engage, and all that type of thing, and get you on your way. As you know, when life is lifing, sometimes you can't wait till the end of the day or the beginning of the next day to kind of pause and reboot. So I hope this time not only allows you to pause and reboot, but it does help me to pause and reboot as well. So I'm not just doing it for you, I'm doing it for myself too. So to stay connected with me, the easiest way is going to be to connect through my Linktree, linktr.ee/AuthorASnorton. From there, you can check out the current newsletter, all the social media handles, the website, interviews, info on the archival editions of the Conversation Corner, updates on the Lens to Pens podcast, of course, a cup or bag of really good coffee with the Author Andrew Snorton blend in collaboration with Fonte's Coffee, and just, a couple of general tidbits. So I appreciate everybody for liking, sharing, following, reposting, as well as supporting, because, hey, without you guys, a lot of the things that I'm able to do through the lens of writing and other things don't happen. So I just want to acknowledge and thank each and every one of you. Before we get into our book and our topic of the day, is there's definitely plenty to talk about. First off, for any of you that are going through a rough time, it could be financial, it could be physical or mental health, it could be relationship-wise, stress, things along those lines. If that sounds like you or someone you know, we're definitely sending a word of encouragement out to you. Do what you need to do to kind of pause and slow down the moving parts and see things for what they are. And if what you're going through requires professional attention, if you have access to those types of things, get the professional help you need. There's no shame in that. If you have to go of a more informal route, identify the things that are going to help put you in a better space, especially mentally and emotionally. So, and please don't do anything that's going to be hurtful to yourself or hurtful to other people, as we do need you around. So if that sounds like you or someone you know, that is our word of encouragement for you. By the same token, there are people who are thriving, flourishing in a constructive manner. So if that sounds like you have a new job, you were able to work through, a financial challenge or a health challenge, things along those lines. Definitely take a moment or two to celebrate your victories, but keep it in perspective, feed off of the positives, and ask yourself, what can you do to keep positive momentum going, especially when it comes to being the biggest positive presence for as many people as possible. So think beyond yourself. Think about yourself to a degree, but think a little bit beyond yourself. So those are just some things just to keep in mind. So for today, we're definitely going to go back to quotes and notes. Something's on the horizon. As you guys are aware, what you put in your head and what you allow to have residency in your head can definitely show up and show out in so many ways, shapes, or forms. So we've got to be real cognizant and real careful about what we do. All the quotes in here, with the exception of one, are original quotes. And in addition to the quote, it's the logic or rationale behind it, so that way you know the context. And then you have space to journal. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you want to go in a deeper direction? Do you want to go in another direction? Because again, what you put in your head or what you allow to have residency in your head is going to show up in some way, shape, or form. So I'm going to go back to one of my favorite quotes in here, as all of us can pause, sit down, and enjoy some perspective. So here it goes. And this is our quote from the day from Quotes and Notes, Something's on the Horizon. Stupidity may sell, but it doesn't mean I have to be a buyer. I'll read it again. Stupidity may sell, but it doesn't mean I have to be a buyer. Now, we see examples of the absence of really thinking things through or really doing some things that are not beneficial to as many people as possible. And that comes to so many different things. There are obvious things that I can speak to, but I think if you take just 5-10 minutes of time, you'll know what I'm talking about. You've got to be real careful when people flaunt foolishness. We've heard this: the loudest in the room isn't the smartest in the room. And there's a lot of loud people out there that clearly do not have any type of sense. There's some folks who just talk in circles and ramble and just say some things without really thinking clearly and coherently. Now, don't get me wrong, it doesn't mean you're going to agree with everything that everybody says, but you've got to take a little bit of time to research and go beyond a soundbite, or go beyond like someone who speaks to your fears and insecurities and all that type of thing. You gotta think bigger and do some things for yourself. Don't allow someone else to program you and play you like a puppet as best as possible. Now, I mean, you gotta just think. Just pause and sit down and think and ask yourself, is this really a good idea? Now, all of us have been guilty of not thinking clearly, or not, being rational or logical. I get that. We've all made that mistake to varying degrees. But there's some mistakes we can't make. And when someone is clearly flaunting stupidity, cutting off your nose to spite your face, or saying one thing and their actions are totally different, you got to start thinking for yourself. You have to do some research. You have to do due diligence. You can't do things for acceptance only. So those are just some things to think about. And I'm pretty sure we're probably going to revisit this theme at different points in time this year. But again, stupidity may sell, but it doesn't mean you have to be a buyer. That's one of the quotes from Quotes and Notes, Something's on the Horizon. Definitely pick up a copy from your favorite independent bookstore and what have you. So don't just exclusively look online. So a couple of quick announcements, and then we're going to get on our way and what have you, and deal with this cold weather, as it is cold out here in the Southeast. Upcoming events: January 30th, in Long Branch, New Jersey at the Book House. Join me for my author's talk. It'll be from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. Many thanks to Dr. David Julius Ford, who will serve as the moderator, so it'll be pretty straightforward. Get there between 5:30 and 6 to meet, greet, connect. We'll do our main talk and question and answers from about 6 to 6:45, and then we'll go ahead and do our book signing at that point, so we can wrap up about 7:30. But thanks to the Book House in Long Branch, and thank you, Dr. David Julius Ford, for serving as the moderator. February 8th in Warner Robins, Georgia, from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. You may join me at Gottwal's Books, and as I'll be part of the authors as part of their series where they feature multiple authors during on Saturdays. So if you're in Warner Robins, Macon, Perry, Middle Georgia, make sure to stop by the Warner Robins location of Gottwal's Books from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on February the 8th. February 22nd from 12 to 5 p.m. in Highland Park, Michigan, one of the suburbs of Detroit, Michigan. Join me at the Ernest T. Ford Center, the Field House specifically. It'll be for the 9th annual African American Family Book Expo presented by Detroit Book City. Come meet, greet, connect. We'll do readings from different books from Black authors, as well as our books. And yes, you can purchase your books, the coffee, all that, and then some. So those are 3 events that are coming up within a 4-week stretch that I hope to be able to connect with you. So again, in working backwards, February 22nd, Greater Michigan, Highland Park, Michigan, from 12 to 5 p.m., the African American Book Expo presented by Detroit Book City. That'll be at the Ernest T. Ford Center. February 8th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. in Warner Robins, Georgia, Gottwal's Books for their author series. And then January 30th, 5:30 to 7 p.m. in Long Branch, New Jersey at the Book House. My author's talk, as Dr. David Julius Ford will be the moderator. So as we get ready to wind down, as always, I thank every reader, every book club, every bookstore, every book festival, for providing me these opportunities. Shouts to my team at Fonte's Coffee for the collaboration with the AuthorASnorton blend, as we have the decaf, light, medium, and bourbon infused roast. So all of those go well with any of my books and audio books and more. Thank you for different organizations for reaching out to speak, talk, connect, all those types of things. So I definitely want to show a measure of gratitude. Thank you to each and every one of you. With the weather being what it is, if you're in Metro Atlanta, please be careful given the winter mix, freezing rain, snow, or whatever is coming. So please be careful. That goes for the same anyone dealing with cold weather. Let's not forget our colleagues out in the greater Los Angeles area still dealing with the wildfires. Please be safe and sound. Just be aware. I mean, the biggest thing is just be aware of things. You can't live in fear, but you can't act as if there's nothing out there. So please be aware, please be cognizant, just try to go about your business as best as possible. Please be careful, when you're out and about. So in closing, I just want to thank each and every one of you for taking time out of your day to watch, think, reflect, like, share, repost, all that type of thing. Definitely let's stay connected. And as I like to close out, whether small or big, a victory is a victory, whether slow or swift movement is movement. So please keep it victorious. Please keep it moving. All of you take very good care. Look forward to connecting with you guys real soon. Take care, everybody.